minute. Yeah, we can. So, good day, everyone. I'm using good day because we have different people from different parts of the world. So, good day, everyone. You're welcome to the monthly series called the Digital Edge, and the theme is focused on staying ahead in the digital world and exploring the latest trends and technologies. So this program is going to be held every month. It's going to be a monthly program, and we'll be exploring different topics on different emerging technologies. So today we have with us my boss. Is a Rotarian, is a project manager, Rtn Gbenga Ofi, and his call name is Ben Law, and he's with us here from Maryland, from United States, and he'll be discussing with us on unlocking the digital edge, stepping into the future of communication with ChatGPT. Well, peradventure, some of us are not familiar with ChatGPT. He's going to break it down for us. And sir, you have the floor for the next 45 minutes so that we can give room for questions and answers and networking before we wrap up. Thank you. You have the floor, sir.
So thank you so much, friends. My name is Gbenga Ofi, and my call name is Ben Law. So kindly pardon me. I'll be. What's going to happen tonight is I'm going to show you some. We're going to talk about it. It's going to be a kind of interactive section, right? Whereby we're going to learn about these tools, and I was discussing some of my friends that was sometimes last week, right? People were scared about the artificial intelligence getting their jobs. Then I told them that this thing is not going to get anybody's job, but one thing is for you to be able to leverage the ideas of the artificial intelligence. So today we are going to discuss and talk much about of these AI tools, and I'll be taking you through. If you have questions, please feel free to ask me questions. All right. Thank you. So once again, we're going to talk about ChatGPT. Pardon me. Our environment is a bit cold now, so as I'm wearing this. So first and foremost, let us look at our personal profession, what we are doing, right? Regardless if you are an engineer, a programmer, or if you are into blogging, you are into event planning, you are into graphic designs. Talk about anything you do, the world is now getting so advanced in the sense that there's some things that someone can help you to facilitate your job to be much more better, right? So that takes us to when we talk about the ChatGPT itself. Sorry, my apologies. I'm trying to fix my screen. So generally, then we're going to talk about the overview of what ChatGPT is all about. We're going to talk about the benefits, and at the same time, we are going to talk about the importance of productivity of these AI tools in our workplace. I don't know how many of us have heard about ChatGPT, but it's not something new in the system. I mean, it's something that the parent organization, which is OpenAI, brought up this designed it to generate human-like responses, to natural language input. Like, we talk about programmers. Programmers, they write codes, right? But with this one, you don't need to write codes. All you just need to put your expression, what you feel, what you think, what you desire, what you are expecting, as a feedback of what you want to do. So today I'm going to show you some stuff like ask me questions, ask me anything, and we'll see how we are able to implement it using this AI software. We have the free version and we have the advanced version. Advanced in the sense that we call it AI, we call it ChatGPT Plus. The reason is because during peak period, like yesterday, I was working with my wife yesterday. I was teaching her some of the things about this AI. So she uses a free version, and then she couldn't log in. But I have one I use at my workplace, which is a plus. I was able to log in because of the peak period, you know, and at the same time, the response time it differs. When you're in a plus version, it responds quickly, and you know, compared to when it's the free version. But nevertheless, you still get the best of it, either the free version or the plus. You still have the same things that come out of it, the same input, the same everything, because they're using the same database. All right, so that takes us to our next slide, which is part of the overview. Here I talk about what does ChatGPT, what does this stand for? It's a generative pre-trained transformer. When we say generative, it means what is being there. You train this software the way you want to. You can train it like human being, like we are training a child. When you get introduced to it, it only tells you what is inbuilt there in the system. But as you use it, you can train it towards your own way. The ChatGPT can translate to so many languages. It can write things for you in Yoruba language, in Igbo, in Hausa, things like that. It can tell you anything. You can tell it to tell you a proverb in Yoruba. It will tell you. You can tell it to say anything, you know, like just of recent. I mean, that was earlier this week at my workplace. I have some colleagues. We were working some of data, and we're trying to write a code to code a what's it called, an Excel sheet, right? I just said, why don't you just use the ChatGPT and just prompt it, let it know what you want to do, and let it see what. Immediately the guy came back and said, "Oh, Ben, the thing is done." I'm like, how do you get what you said? I use this stuff like it just through the help of the ChatGPT. You don't need to crack your brain anymore too much. You don't need to crack the brain too much. There is something out there that can do the work for you in a very simple way. So as we said, my point number 2 is, you know, look at the architecture just like a transformer that changes things from one thing to the other, which is a deep learning model of natural language processing. Number 2, it says the chatbot was developed by OpenAI. That's a research organization that focused, you know, on advancing artificial intelligence in a safe and beneficial way. We have to understand that some of these things of this artificial intelligence, like I said, what you input into it is what it returns to you, and you train it every day. They can give you some information that can be harmful, and they can give you some that can be beneficial and safe. So, but the way you train it, the way you prompt it, it's what is going to deliver to you. And now depends on you how you can actually use this information. Then to train these bots, AI has used a data set of over 45 terabytes of text from the internet, including books, articles, and websites. So it means it has a database, like what we said. You keep training it. The information you load into it, the more information you load into it, the more information they keep accumulating from everybody and training this software so that it can actually perform the best for you. It can perform, okay, ChatGPT has over 1.6 billion parameters, which makes it one of the largest language models in existence. It can perform a wide range of natural language processing tasks, including questioning, answering, language translation, summarization, and many others. Its training data was filtered to remove sensitive or harmful content, and the response are further filtered to ensure that it doesn't produce harmful or offensive language. So that is one thing. They keep training this software every now and then, and you can join in that and train that. It's what you input that determines. Even when you want to log in, when you want to sign up, By the time you sign up and everything, it will tell you that you should not put in sensitive information. Like I'm in the United States now. If I want to use it, I cannot put something like someone's social security number, or probably a court case or something very secretive, something that is should be a personal thing. You can't put it there, because the moment you put it there, then it has been exposed to the whole world, right? Because somebody will just put your name there and say, who is this person? What case do you have about this person? And we just bring all the life history of that person and say, I know this person. This is the social thing, and so and things like that. So people want to be very, very careful about what you put into it, you know. But you can draft your stuff in a very in a way that almost similar to what you are doing, for you to get an answer from the vote. So again, because it is a machine learning model, I know some of us that are into computer engineering or probably into IT, we know about the machine language. That is it's a kind of what's called machine learning. We have all this artificial intelligence, learning them and then using them as the data to increase productivity. That's one of the basis of machine learning. And at the same time, to make sure that we have the best results. I'm sorry, I don't want to bore you, but just relax and just follow me. We're still going to enjoy it, okay? So despite the limitations, right? It can still be useful tool for answer questions, like we said, engaging in conversation on a wide range of topics. The platform is built on the foundation of cutting-edge artificial intelligence technology, which provides users with a range of features to help streamline their workflow and increase their productivity. So what are the benefits? So talking about the benefits, of course, it allows for faster and more efficient communications between teams to stay connected and on the same page. Like I told you about the ChatGPT Plus, which I use in my organization where I work. So one thing is we can collaborate, we can do projects using it, we can plug into it and we can make suggestions and make references to ourselves while we work on the project, and it's very, very helpful, right? But on the free version, what the free version does is it's only personalized to you, because it's not meant to be a commercial for commercial uses, right? It's meant to be a personal thing you can actually log in and use for yourself. So it has a limitation there, right? So then number 2 point, it provides users with a centralized hub for task management, projects collaboration, and file sharing. That's basically about the ChatGPT Plus, right? That's basically, it does that. But at the same time, you as a person, if you're using yours, you can, whatever you develop at a time, you can go to your colleague, oh, I saw this and that, and you can keep bringing in more people on what you have been discovering, the answers you are getting. You can get more collaboration aside, put into what you are doing into your project, and can help you do that. So like I said, the free version is limited, right? It's a bit limited compared when it is a plus. I would have, if I'm not in the official place, I would have just showed you the one I use at my office. But this is my country here. The kind of some things you don't just reveal that way. So I put that limit to what we have, so that everything that's official can just stay official. That kind of thing. Compared to my home country, which is Nigeria, we can do anything the way we like. But we can share information, we don't care. But here, a little information you share, everything that is very, very sensitive, especially when you are dealing with the public information. So third, it allows for increased transparency and accountability, as all team members can see the progress and status of task project. That's basically about the ChatGPT Plus. Well, let me quickly move on to my next slide. Importance of productivity in workplace. So these are some of the things that we should be more concerned about, right? Productivity is crucial in the workplace, and the use of ChatGPT can enhance productivity in several ways. The following are the importance. 1, efficient communication, streamline workflow, automations, transparency, time sharing, and the most important, productivity is of paramount importance in anything we do. Productivity, even in our home, when you want to cook, right? All you need is you want to get the food to be ready. If you have been struggling in the kitchen since morning and if there's no food on the table, it's like, what are you doing this morning? Talk about the work we are doing. If you're working with your boss and you're not being productive, you'll be thinking of replacing you with somebody else, right? But if you can leverage your idea of this software to what you are doing, you will look like a genius in your workplace. You will look like, oh, this guy knows everything. Because what? From your phone, you can type it out and get, oh, I'm thinking of this, I need this idea. I'm going for this meeting, I need ideas. And straight, the system will generate ideas for you based on the information you're putting in. So we're going to get to that level where I'm going to show you some things about what we are going to look at today. So I'm going to send this by at the end of the day to my brother Prince. I'm going to send it to him. So if you want to have a copy, you can reach out to him. He's going to share with you so that you can, on your own personal thing, at least go towards that. Because I want to also have a question. I mean, where I can enter, listening to you, and we can talk to that. So I don't want to take this slide, take much of everything. Then now I'm going to stop this a little bit. Then I'm now going to the actual field, right? I'm going to the ChatGPT itself from the system, from how you search for it on the internet, because there are a lot of fake ones now out there being designed by hackers, because at the time you now log in, they steal a lot of things from you and they can use that against you, like advanced countries, people are very conscious, something like that. But I want to show you today about that. We're going to look into that. We look at the setup, we look at the settings, and at the same time, you can check it also. It's also your phone. You can look at that, and then we see how to navigate the interface and what I've done in the past and what you can use it for. And I will entertain a few questions before I jump back before we start moving. All right. Before we move forward, do we have any question? Please feel free. Yes,
someone raised their hand the other time, but I think she's waiting for us to finish before she puts in her question.
All right.
But we have the message, we have the chat box, the message section.
Okay.
Please, everyone, you're encouraged to drop in your message there or your experience with the platform. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. So one thing we are going to do now is sorry, 1 minute. All right. So let me go ahead and show you my screen. Just a minute. Okay. So here's my browser, right? And one thing is for us to check, right? Then that's the ChatGPT. Then we'll log in. Yes, seeing it here. Here we can see a lot of people talked about this stuff. Some people will tell you that you can build your stuff and things like that. But please look for something. This is the one which is OpenAI, which is the parent organization. The parent organization, which is the OpenAI, then you click on this and it takes you to this platform. Right? And from here, we can as well go as well say you want to try it. Okay? And just click on try. When you get to this screen, it's for you to fill your data or what you need. Just put it into there, complete it. And after completing it, it tells you to put in your password and every other thing. And from there, you are good to go. But so let me just quickly show you my, because I've signed in already. Let me just show you the one which 1 minute. So here's my tab. After signing in, uh, we have a lot of information here, and like I said, you can display anything which you want. Sorry, because I'm using dual screen, I might be looking at the other way, not looking at this place. So try to understand me. I'm only focusing on where I have my screen here. So what we have here, what do you want to say? Like, if I want to ask, can you, right, can you write? So you mean it's telling me, it's not writing in Yoruba for me. You can see it's writing things for me and translating it down to English, right? So it tells you that we have a lot of the database has a lot of things input into it. Okay, so we have a lot of things a lot of things we have inside it that can help us to do anything. Like for those who are bloggers, people sometimes, why most bloggers, why that blog dies, because they don't have content, right? You don't have content, but you can, with the help of this software, you can tell it to give you content. I want to talk about a story of a woman. You can give the storyline what you want and tell it to give you content, right? What it does is it's going to produce content for you. And from there, you can as well maximize that to develop some other things. Tell it to develop each line for you, each thing for you, whereby it's able to expand it. Like if I may tell you in the past, like I told you, I work with combining stuff. You see, I was using it to, this was the code it generated for me, one of my questions. You see, it generated a code for me, which I used. I don't need to crack my brain, and it's just, all I just need to do is just copy this code and then paste on what I am doing. They run the code and it gives me what I want. The only thing I would do is just to modify it and modify what I am doing to sweeten what exactly the link, like where it says sheet A, or probably using bars or master here, I change the name to what I want, and it runs the program. So like, let me quickly show you one crazy thing, like not really crazy anyway, pardon my language. Pardon my language. This is some crazy thing when I was I've been teaching my wife about some stuff. So I was talking about my club is Rotary International. We're dedicated to the ideas of ready selfless service to humanity, right? So I was speaking with the secretary. The secretary was busy, and I said, okay, give me a draft. And I said, okay, hey guy, both, you know what? I want to invite a speaker for a humanitarian gathering. Write a letter for me and see what he came up with. He drafted this letter for me to input the name and everything. He designed everything for me. All I just need to do is just take this thing, rephrase it, put in the name and everything, and send it to the speaker that I want to send it. And it goes. I don't need to crack my brain out to draft letters, right? And again, I was talking about, there's another thing, talking about, I was trying to file for my company, and I was trying to get the best way to present my listing. It's helping me out. I don't need a personal assistant to do that job for me, right? In this situation. So let's assume I'm a director of a company, I have a personal assistant. I said, I want to get these things done. I just tell him, what he does is he goes back to the system, to the software, to go and tell this, okay, this is what my boss wants. I want to draft something for me. And he goes, oh, brother, this is what I've done. This is what I've gotten. I goes, oh, this is perfect. It's just modify it and just send it. Sorry, I want to show you one of the crazy things I said I did sometimes. Okay, look at this one. Look at this. When I was, like based on my club, I was thinking about I was looking for a partnership program to get somebody looking for sponsorship across the globe, across Nigeria. I want to do a project in Nigeria. But if you look at it, I'm not writing Nigeria here. I wrote Sudan here, right? And if you look at it, I just tweak it just to get information I want to get. Then when I get it, that is how to trick. That is trick. How to trick artificial intelligence to get the right answer, right? You trick it to get the right answer, and when you get the right answer, then you modify it now to sweeten you. Like I said, everything's about prompt. Prompt means a command you give to it. Now I said, write a request for a partnership letter for the following project in a rural area in rural areas in Sudan. The partnership choice to select one of the multiple projects. Explain the benefits of each project. The proposed project are as follows: I thought donation of boreholes, planting of 500 trees, 3 days, blah blah blah. I wrote like 3 items. Look at what this guy wrote. I mean the boat. He said, "Dear partner," so I have to change it now. Put the partner's name there. Then he talked about the Sudan, the improving area in Sudan. I was referencing Sudan now, but if I want to customize Nigeria now, I'll put Nigeria there, then tweak it, put Nigerian stuff there. The environment I want to put, I'll put it there. Then it talks about donation, why that donation is important. It talks about planting of trees. It talks about medical facilities. It talks about a lot of things there, explain to details. If you read it with those things, you'll be convinced that, man, these guys have projects. These things are really touching life because the way it explained it, right? It did it for me. I would just send it to the sponsor and say, this is what we have. He's going to sit and say, wow, these guys are really working. They have this project in mind. I think it's something we can spend our money on. Instantly, it's going to say, that's some of the things that, some of our bad boys can use in exploiting people. I'm not saying you use to exploit people, right? But use it in a positive way to better yourself and to better the community. It's good. Now, it's giving me a very good work, a very good template, a very good stuff, which I can sit down, redraft it, and then send it to sponsors for them to collaborate with us so that we can help our community. So if I send this on to anybody now, my secretary just said, "Oh, secretary, I have a draft for you. Here's the draft." Oh, President, this is good. I think this is good. We just put in stuff there and then start sending it out to our contacts and stuff like that. So, I got a project just of research, supply some computers, some computers to some schools there in America. Like, initially I was told to write a proposal and stuff like that. This was what I used to generate the proposal. This was the proposal I sent to the government. He wrote this one for me. I just modified it and everything like that. And I sent it on. And they approved it. At the end of the day, I just did some quotations, everything like that. I just put it there and sent it like that. Like I said, look at it. I asked the question, I said, who is Ofi? That's my son name. He said he doesn't know me. But the moment I put in my information here, he saves it. If anybody asks next time, I say, who is Ofi? He's going to tell about my Ofi and display my social security number or whatever information I put into it is going to tell that person that this is what I know about this person. So that is why you shouldn't put anything sensitive in things like this, so that it doesn't, so that you don't get caught in so many things. Now let's look at this place. I was trying to explain to a friend, for those who are pastors. I don't know who is a pastor here. Like I said, this thing can be used for anything. For someone who's a pastor, I'm going to the church on Sunday. I forgot to write my sermon. I'm going to preach in the church, right? And I have my laptop. I just went to open. I said, okay, I want to preach about pride and arrogance. Write an epistle about pride and arrogance. Use some Bible verses to support in explanation. See what he wrote for me. I will send it. I will copy it and I'll copy it and send it to Prince. Maybe he can share with you what he wrote. What he did is he talked about pride in the Bible. He talked about the verses to support all these things, quoting Proverbs 16:18, Proverbs 18. I've not read it before. Quoting James 4:16, Philippians 2:3. A lot of backings. So it means you can do a lot of things with this thing, right? What do you want to do? You want to write a book. I think, let me see, okay, maybe on my other account, I was talking about writing a book. like I said initially, for those who are doing content and everything like that, you can prompt it to tell you, write content for me. It gives you content. There are other AI tools as well. Maybe as time goes on, down the line, we can talk about it. I mean, in another day, whereby you can develop content here. You can write a story here. You put it into another AI tool to develop some pictures for you for those who have been written, and they give you nice designs which you can use. And you can take another one to tell you to generate a video for you, and you can post that on YouTube, and you start making money without your face being shown. You can copy this one, write a book here, just redraft it, and you take it to start publishing it. You can put it on Amazon, Audible. People start listening to it, audio, and you start making money. Some of the articles now I read on newspaper, I don't, sometimes like, this is not, it's not possible. It's fiction, right? You just fabricated it. So one thing, a lot of things can be done with this tool. We cannot cover everything that this thing can do. Talk about, what are you doing? You're an event program, you're an event planner. Tell it, I have, let me open this one. Let me. So here's another thing, something freaky, right? I want to go to an orphanage, right? The orphanage, they don't have anything, and I want to tell us when I said, okay, let me rephrase this. Let me take someone's name. I'm seeing Henry, right? Henry has just opened a new bakery, and the Rotary Club wants to collaborate with his bakery to supply the orphanage home with confectionaries 5 days in a week. Then I have Arena. Let me change this one to Arena. Right? Is that name right? Arena. Arena, right? We supply the orphanage with rice, beans, and stuff. And Arena, I said, right, that's a meal for the orphanage, right? Let's assume, look at what it's going to tell me. Now it's talking about Henry. This area, if you can see very well, you can see what it's writing, prompting telling me what those kids' meal will be based on what Irene, should I call Irene and Henry, what they're going to supply to the orphanage. Now it's telling me what needs to be done. Another thing is this: for students, if you have your ebooks, if you have ebooks, you can upload it into this stuff. You can copy it and paste into this stuff, into AI, this ChatGPT, you can paste it into. Then when everything loads, you can ask questions. A lot of companies now, that is what they are doing now. You know, they used to have customer service, right? Some people have SOPs, standards of procedure, standard of procedure. They use in operating stuff like that. What they do is they load into this ChatGPT, right? And then anybody can now ask questions. How do I go about this and stuff? Before you know what, the system will be giving you answer based on what you upload into the system. Is that not crazy? Because it's crazy. So people say it's going to get people out of job. No. It's not going to get us out of job, but it's going to help us to enhance our job. Now, Tinubu is president-elect, right? See what he wrote for Henry and Irene. We want to talk about you are the event planner. As an event planner. Event. Sorry. Let's try this. What's it going to give us? So you see, it's writing now, telling me I told you to write the content of events to host the newly president candidate, something like that. So this is what it's writing to give me now. It's just like a storyline to tell me, you know, like if this is not what I'm expecting, I can easily come here and tell it, update this one, then rephrase it. Act as the planner, right? Then I go there. What other things? Decide what type of venue to use and the decorations. Specify the type of guest, and suggest the meals to serve the to serve at the event. I have this one, right? I said, so let's look at this, right? And I modified what I have in between before. So it's telling me now, telling me what it used to be. It talks about the venue, the kind of venue I need to take. It talks about the decorations that needs to, that I need to look into, right? Giving me specifically the kind of tablecloth. Can you see the kind of flora I used to use? The kind of plates, things I need to do. It's even telling me the kind of guests, how things like that. It tells me the kind of meal. That's an event planner, right? And it tells me all overall, because it tells me in conclusion, hosting the vice president of Russia is a high profile event and that requires careful planning and attention to detail, right? The venue and decoration should reflect the sophistication and elegance of the occasion, while the meal served should cater to the diverse taste of the guest. You understand? This is what, as an event planner, oh, so no, this cannot be useful for me. No. You know what? It can help you talk about even design, talk about bricklayers, talk about builders, talk about fabricators. It can give an idea, an opinion of how something should look like, give you an imagination, give you what you should be reasoning, what to look at, what is in vogue, what is, depending on what you're putting in. It's how you ask this question. That is how you are able to get what it is. Now I will pause a bit because I know I have like 7 minutes or there about 5-7 minutes to go. Let me go to the questions so that I can come up with a question. Prince, please can you help me with the question, please? If there are questions.
No, there are no questions, although we had 2 people raise their hands. My sister Defuke is on call. She raised her hand. And there is Stella. Stella Itinosa, she raised her hand. So I don't know if they want to take their questions now.
All right. Is anybody asking questions? All right. So if there are no questions, I want to take a pause on this. Like I said, with this one, you can use it for anything. Be you a pastor, be you a trader.
Okay, we have more people. Sorry, we have more people who have raised their heads.
Okay.
And I think we have a question. Okay, we have a question on the chat box. Apologies.
Right. Please, can you read it for me? I mean, if someone wants to speak as well, please.
Okay. Ashabi Gold asked, I would like to ask about the issues of plagiarism in those answers.
Okay, thank you so much. So one thing is that takes me to, there are so many tools online. There are so many tools online whereby we can use in so doing, because most time, like we have some people that they write their resume, they use this to write their resume, right? But what happens is we have Quillbot. So you see, one thing is, when I want to do something, what I do is, we have different versions. This is just a free version. We have the standard version and things like that. You can upgrade depending on how you want it. So one thing is, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. So one thing is, from here, whenever if I have anything else, I write a resume or anything here. But apart from when I go to this place, let me take something. So let me take this invitation, right? So what I do is I can copy from here, depending, then I go into this tool, right? Paste here. All right, because this is not a premium version, you can do it bit by bit because it's a free version. You can do it bit by bit, but there are a lot of paraphrasing tools out there which are free. You can use. You can actually just for a lot and get anyone you are. So you can just have it that way. But let me reduce this. Just a minute. Okay. So when we have this here, I can tell it to paraphrase it, right? So it's trying to paraphrase. So if there's any word that is being used somewhere else so that you're not being sued, then there's an alternative for you here, right? So you can come here and change some words. You can come here and change what it is. You can come here and instead of awareness, you can change this word. Instead of this, you can change this to occasion. Instead of, you can do that. It's just to proofread what you have. These tools are online. You can use them to your own advantage. So at the end of the day, like, well, if anybody is now trying to check if this is AI generated information, they won't know that's AI generated information. They don't know. Nobody was going to know because you've changed everything to suit your own. You've used other words for that. And there's also a site, but I think we'll discuss about that later. There's also a site whereby you could actually test what you get from AI to actually dictate. That is what most professionals use. What they do is when they see your resume or they see something from you or a storyline from you, they pick up that one, they put it into this. It's also an AI. It will tell if it is an AI generated information, right? And if it tells, if say like, if it will tell you, okay, this AI generated information, it will rate it 100%, 98%, anything you are seeing around 90%, it's purely AI. But when you use this tool to paraphrase everything, to make sure you change everything, change the wordings and everything like that, to suit that still means the same thing, the same content, to mean the same thing. When by the time you search this one now, if it is being said, if it's an AI, it will probably read maybe like 10 or 5% or even 0 at the end of the day. So like, oh, it's not AI, things like that. So there's nobody can use the exact word which you are using here. And especially when they're using your own distance, because the combination of words might be different like that. So that is one thing which I have used. And like when I was writing a proposal, so now I'm telling you my secret. When I was writing a proposal to the government to supply the computers, right? I have to change everything, put in there. I have to, every line I have paragraph. I didn't even put in bulk like this. I was putting in every sentence to make sure I structure it very well to fit what I am doing. Hope I'm able to help with that.
Yes, sir. You have, sir. We have someone raised his hand, Mr. Peter. You have the floor. I yield my mic.
Mr. Please talk. We are listening to you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, please.
Yes. Can this ChatGPT or can it do some Excel functions?
Excel functions?
Because, yeah.
I just showed you something, right? This one. This is Excel. This was the function in Excel. I'll just teaching my wife when we're just thinking of something. I'm just working on this, right? So this Excel function. This is Visual Basic script. When you talk about macros, this is macros. This is macro. Let me quickly show you what this does. Hold on 1 minute. I'm trying to open my Excel, please. So you see here, right? You see this, right?
Yeah.
These are some information here. This is Excel. You have a lot of, they gave you a lot of information at the workplace in data sheet, and they want you to compare these two sheets together and filter if there is error, right? So let me see. I think it's on the other page. Let me see. I know. Sorry, 1 minute. 1 minute, please. Sorry, 1 minute. I'm trying to get my. Okay, let's go ahead. Depending on what you want to do, right? You can do anything you want from here. My apologies. So from here, so like I said, this is macro. I want to combine these two together, okay, into this one, into this master, and then to tell me what I need to do. So when I ran this one, it gave me this code, right? I tried a lot of things when I was talking about, because my wife at her place of work, she needs to do something. So we had to sit down together and keep thinking about that. Look at this code. So this one developed this code, then I brought it here. So you can see that we have different ones which we tested here. Okay, well, I think what we're going to look at, I think it is 6. Let me stick on that. 1, 2. Okay, let me run this one. Now you see this one, right? You look at that, and I click.
Okay.
All right. So you can see, I think I've messed it up really because I need to look at it again.
So you mean when asking the chat, the Excel function question, I will just have to copy it from the workbook, right?
So it depends on what it depends on what you want to do. Like this question now, I want to combine this information, like what my wife had at the work. She wants to combine the data from 2 sheets, right, into another sheet, and then she wants to compare. It's a very big set of data, right? So I was just explaining what she needs to do when she's doing that, right? And I said,
so how do you ask that kind of question now on the chat?
Now look at it. I said in content. Okay, I think I did one already. let me come from here. I said, using an Excel macro code, right? In the same workbook, combine a sheet DAS with a sheet workd into sheet master. Sort the sheet master serially using the first column. Okay, so it means we are leaving it at this bit now. No, that's okay. So it means you want to combine this one and this one, then filter with the first column, with this first column, that is WH. That is the serial number I want to combine. So we have WH here, and we have WH here. So what happened is this data are almost the same thing, but one thing, there are discrepancies here. And it wants to know where is the discrepancy, what should be instead of looking at the whole data, we don't have to waste our time. We want to look at only the ones that have errors, right? So we now said, okay, and I told it, okay, this is what you need to do. You tell the system, and it's okay, yeah, here's the macro to from the system. Then he wrote this macro. Then he explained to him, said, use this macro, blah, blah, blah. After pasting the code, they just copy it and just paste and press F5. F5 or just play kick long. And I went ahead, I said, in continuation of what the previous, what you've done. I said, in continuation of the previous, combine and sort the macro query, compare all data in the sheet master line 2 and 3, highlight discrepancies. You know, the first combine and filter. Now I said highlight discrepancies, right? And identify the data. Identify
column 28.
And I said create a column 28. Look at it now. Create a column 28. Note, insert all the discrepancy message. If completed, then move to the next second line. It depends on how you ask the question, the prompt, what you are asking.
Okay. It depends on
now, it's giving, it said, okay, use this code because I told you, I'm using a query. I told you to write the query. Then it's this now, you wrote the query using this one, right? So now I write again. Then I want to write, just keep asking different questions. It now depends on how you want to phrase your thing. What are you expecting? I'm expecting, okay, the end result is I want to design a game. I want to design a game that a girl will be fighting a guys, and when he wins, it moves to the castle. You can write the whole storyline of what you want to do. Write a code using a C++ or C# or using a Python. Write any language you want to use. Maybe it's Python as a programmer. Use Python, or you want to use C##. And said, write a code. I want to write a code to design this game whereby there will be a girl that will conquer this one, will fight a battle, write the whole story like how you want it. You put it there. The system is going to write it for you. It cannot be accurately, but you as a programmer, you know what to tweak. You know what to change. You know the name of the character to change. You know everything. You just put it there. And as soon as it gives you that, you put it on your console, you design, you run it, it gives you what you want to do, then you can start going from there and start developing on that. But some people are very, very lazy. When they get it here now, they believe he has given them all the full answer. No, that's not the full answer. As you now, you want to think that you are smart. This is a machine now. Then as human, you must apply the human knowledge to that machine, right? To make it more perfect. That is why you bring the human feelings into it, right? When you write the code now, and I have to tweak it, tweak the language, tweak the column. I said create column 28, but I changed to column 26, right? Because I think the space is wider, so go to column 26, right? And I said the information I'm going to return is blah, 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 and end up in this. I change the notes, that information to something else that, okay, report this. This is how you should code it. So that what we see here, as the example I told you, now I'm writing this. Just a minute. Apologies. This is 5. Sorry, I'm looking for my 6. Where is my 6? Okay. So, yeah, now, sorry. You can see it has populated it here and highlighted the things that it needs to do. And then it has given me this one. These are the messages it's putting out. Then, if I don't like this message now, I go to the program. I go and modify what I want it to report to me, right? If I don't want it to report on A, B, I said I want to report on Y. I change the code there Those are some of, at the end of the day, I still have to modify it, put human something into it to make sure it
Yeah,
fits to
yeah,
what I
I
want
get
to.
it. I get. I'll put out to test tomorrow and see.
You can do a lot of things. You can, like, if you're boring at work, I want to advise you, go to YouTube, watch YouTube. If you're boring at work, if you're doing the same thing every day at work and you want to automate it, automate your task at work, it's very simple. You can do it, right? With this
All
ChatGPT is
right.
going to help you to automate your function, all what you are doing easily.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
You're most welcome,
Uh,
bro.
Thank you very much, sir. Our time are fast spent. We okay, Esther.
Yeah,
Can you
good
quickly ask
evening,
your
sir.
question?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you just spoke about automating your job at the
Yes.
office. Can
Yes.
you expand on that? How can that be done?
How can that be done? It depends on the kind of work you are doing. When I said automating basically I mean talk about those who are data analysis, analyst, data analyst, all these business analysts, all these programmers, all these anybody working with data. And if you are a customer service person and you still work with getting emails every now and then, moving emails to one folder, doing some basic things on your computer, you can automate that. But it's not something we can learn
Okay.
tonight, right? But
All right.
there are some videos just like automating your you can just with automating your task, your daily tasks at work, or probably how can I use ChatGPT and Excel to automate my daily tasks at work. You can put it on YouTube. You get some videos that will teach some basic steps. All you just they might not be accurate to what you want to do, but you can pick that knowledge, then modify it together to get what you need at the end of the day. A lot
Yes,
of things
thank you
my
so
place,
much.
a lot of things I've been in my place of work that is automated on my task, that is automated on my, just go there, just make everything is running. When the report comes, go into a folder, the folder gets into something that's automated itself. All I need to do is just like look at it, is done, and say, hey, this is done. So anybody that wants to check it, everything can go there and check it because everything has been, I focus on something else when that one is taking care of itself.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. It's been a great time. We started, I think, around 7:02, and we said we're going to spend just 1 hour. So, thank you everyone for coming. Um, this is the Digital Edge. It's a monthly series, and the next series will be held. It's going to be held every last Thursday of the month. So the next one will be next month, the last Thursday. And yeah, we drop a link at the chat box. Kindly check the link, please, and give your feedback. Part of the what we'll do with the feedback is that we'll use it to have your email address so that we can share the link to this recording so that you can listen to it again, as well as we will share with you the slide. So please don't hesitate to kindly fill up the form, and we'll see you on the next one. And this program is powered by Legacy Lab, a social impact digital innovation hub. And peradventure you have one or two things that you need more clarification for, you could drop it as part of information on the feedback form, which will reach out to you. And thank you very much, sir, Rtn Gbenga Ofi, um, for um, for giving us this wonderful lecture. Well, because it's Nigeria, it's dark time. I don't know if any of us can if some of us can put our cameras so that we can take group pictures. Is a routine that we do at the end of our programs. We try to take our pictures, our faces, our beautiful faces, so that we can take note of it. And yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Let me count now 1 to 10 before we take the picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Eh, So we've taken the picture. I saw an email address there. We'll try to capture it, but please fill up the form so that. Okay, Mr. Bankole, please, do you have a question? Can you quickly, let's take it as the wrapping. Mr. Bankole, you have the floor, please. If you have a question, let's quickly use that one too. Okay, so I think the question will be taken as part of the feedback. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next one. Yeah, bye-bye, everyone. Sir, Dr. Shego, thank you for coming, sir. Very, very grateful, sir. Very, very grateful, sir. Very, very grateful, sir. Thank you, my club president, Rtn Gbenga. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, Benedicta. Thank you, Mr. Peter, for engaging us. Thank you, Mr. Femi Ajayi. Thank you, Ashabi. Thank you, Mr. Henry. And yeah, I think we can end the call.